Hey guys, today we're trying Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood? Is that the subtitle? I forgot already, I'm sorry. It's definitely Earth something. We'll see it in a moment. Thank you to the developer slash PR company for sending me a code. Here, I got it right. Sending me the code so I could preview this game. And this will be my, I was gonna say second, I guess my third time visiting the... It just opened a tab in my browser. Go away. There we go. I guess this will be my third time visiting the World of Darkness no, fourth, huh? No, I did play like 1 or 2 sessions of Vampire the Apocalypse, the real tabletop game. I forgot. Then I did a playthrough of Masquerade, and I did a Let's Try of a visual novel of Vampire the Masquerade. And now we're trying Werewolf the Apocalypse, which I think is the same world or something. Let's see. Uh-oh. We're off to a start here. Where's the Eddie key? Where's the Eddie key? I'm pressing A to continue, and then on my... Maybe that tab was important. Permission to use Werewolf the Apocalypse with your Epic Game account. Allow? That was, whoa, that was weird. I've never seen that pop up before in the browser for Epic Games. I'm not really sure what that means. Aw, the color of autumn. Definitely not going to be seeing blood soon instead in that color. That's definitely not where we're going. Oh, who could have figured that out? Oh, man, I'm a genius. Wait, was that the giver? Slash the giving tree? Is it a mix? That leaf just bled color into the world? I know that the book is the giver, but it came from a tree, so it was the giving tree, which is also a book, but doesn't work that way. What in the world? So they're running around, the world's frozen. That's actually a really neat intro. I like that the wolves are all curious and stuff. Womp womp. If I'm correct about this being the same World of Darkness as Vampire the Masquerade, it's really werewolves are fucked up. Like, we were repeatedly warned not to ever meet up with a werewolf. Ever. Because you're deeply fucked. In that game. And I myself was playing as like the... God, what they get the Grawl or something? Is the werewolf-ish vampire group, and it's like, I was like, if these guys are kind of werewolf, then like, what's the real werewolves like? I don't even understand necessarily. Then we saw the real werewolves, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Hey, which one is on? Okay, they were good to go. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. I'm a little iffy on admittedly, it's a cyanide game. And two of the AA RPG developers that I've encountered, the one that I've Cyanide and somebody else worked on like Bound by Flame or something, and so the names have been a little poisoned for me. I've always been a little like hesitant to play anything by them. But werewolf games are rare, and I want to play a werewolf game. Look at these fucking portrait arts for these 3 difficulties. Look at that. I guess like the stages of transformation. Let's just play normal for starters. So I'm getting Ferngully vibes. Like that aspect of like fighting against the corporate takeover and all of the growing like factories and so on into nature. Like I think that was supposed to be like the damage against the Earthblood tree or whatever the fuck anything is called in this game. Like he felt that when the leaf reached him, and so he like hulked out into wolf mode and then just destroyed the facility. I'm not sure what the frozen in time stuff meant.
Wild. The Weaver. And the Worm. 3 primal forces from which the world Gaia springs. The Wild is creation, formless and abundant. The Weaver shapes, making order out of chaos. The Worm, whose purpose was to destroy the old, to make room for the new, went mad. Now, a force of corruption, feeding on greed, malice, and hate. It ravages Gaia. Through its unwitting accomplices, mankind. The balance between those 3 forces is long gone now. Insidiously, the worm gains more and more ground every day, vitalized by the damage humans have brought to the Earth. We, the werewolves, remain, born of man, beast, and spirit. We are the vindication of Gaia and the wild.
All right. They should be ready now.
The best way to get Indran out of the region is to attack their bottom line. We have a plan to convince them there's no profit to be had here. Ludmilla, if you please.
I've recently gained access to the system that controls all the on-site oil pumps. That's our target. We tamper with the pumps and send dummy data to the system to make them think their oil field has run dry.
Will that really be enough?
According to the internal files I got my hands on, they treat unprofitable sites like gangrenous limbs. They'll give this one the chop right away.
I don't know. Even if we do manage to push them out, they'll only set up somewhere else. We need to hurt them, bring them down, not chase them away.
We've already talked about this, Cahal. They're too close to the cairn. If we stage an attack, they'll look for the ones who did it. I don't want Indran's eyes on our home. Our best option is to work in the shadows.
But if something goes wrong, my wife ends up on her own in enemy territory. I don't like it.
I'm going to be fine, Cahal. We've been preparing this for weeks. We've calculated the risks.
And if there's any sign of trouble, you and I go in and retrieve her. But I'd rather we stay covert. Ludmilla will have the easiest time on her own.
I'm heading out. I want to be done before daybreak. Take care of Adana while I'm away. I think she's going a little crazy all cooped up in here.
Don't worry, I'll talk to her. You just focus on your mission.
Cahal, I've got this. I love you. See you soon.
I wonder if we're not going to see these other characters very much, because they're like noticeably lower detail than this dude, who's obviously just in the entire game, unless they have surprises to show me.
We've been stuck in this cave for weeks studying Endrin's movements. At least now we finally got a plan. I hope we're done here soon.
That's right, this is straight up like, we're doing eco-terrorism. Let's do it.
Endrin, one of the most destructive companies North America has to offer, known for their violence and endless greed. If we left them to their own devices, they'd ravage this place till there was nothing left but dust.
So Enron? It's only one letter off.
I don't like thinking that Ludmilla's on her own, Rodko.
I understand. She's my sister, remember?
And she's Adana's mother. I should be out there with her.
I gave it a lot of thought. Her chances of success are better if she's alone. It's as simple as that. If things don't go as planned, you can tear through as much Endrin scum as you like to get her out. But for now, we stay put. Go. Rest while we wait.
Not looking forward to packing all this up tomorrow morning. Got everything squared away?
Not a lot to square away. All I'm doing is pressing a button once Ludmilla gets me hooked up. Still got a ways to go before I can do much more than that. If I tried to breach their network, they'd be on us in a second.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're 10 times better at hacking than me or Rodko with your eyes closed. Just give it time.
I know, but... Thanks. A little pep talk never hurts. But how are you doing? Talk to your daughter yet?
No, not yet. I'm just heading her way.
Nope, that's just a wolf here. It's fucking huge.
What do you think, old friend? Yeah, that makes 2 of us. Not too keen on this plan.
Is Rafik just a natural wolf, or is he also a werewolf, but he's just not keen on walking around as a person? Actually, not sure. Wolves are fucking huge in the wild, or at least certain ones are. There's, you know, they're around the world at different sizes in different regions.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm bored out of my mind. There's nothing to do here, and it's wet and miserable.
We're not on vacation, 80. We're here for Gaia, for the cairn, and you're here to learn how we do things.
I know, but couldn't I have learned how we do things back at Tarker's Mill? It's not like you've got me helping out with the mission or anything.
Try connecting with the spirits. Feel their presence around you. The pain Endrin's causing them. That connection makes you a Garou.
I'm trying. Believe me, but I just can't.
Don't worry. It's always harder before your first change. And if the change never comes, if you're human, like your mother, that's fine. She may not feel the spirits, but she's the finest infiltrator we have.
Why didn't you go with Mom anyway? She's all alone out there. If something happens to her...
I wish I could have. But Rodko wants us to keep a low profile. And there's no one better at that than your mom.
Rodko's a dumbass.
Hey, that's your uncle you're talking about. And the leader of our pack. You know it's his job to make those decisions. Everything will be all right, don't worry. Try to focus on the spirits. We'll be leaving this place soon.
So the wife isn't even a werewolf. So she's in significantly more danger than I thought.
Shit.
Cahal, wake up. I'm gonna need you.
It'll be a win if I never hear the words alpha or beta in this game. And instead it's just true to wolves. Because so far it's like, oh, they're a family unit, which is actually how wolves organize. The supposed alpha and betas that people thought existed were either when when seen in the wild, they were literally just the parents, and so obviously, like, children defer to their parents in many cases. And then in captivity, it was a bunch of random wolves from different parts of the world that didn't know each other, jammed into what was essentially a prison, and they were trying to extrapolate wolf behavior from that. And then it's like, that's not really based on anything. You're just jamming them in an artificial environment and seeing how they behave.
Ava did an impressive job installing all this. Not that she'd ever admit it. She still has so much self-doubt.
And now you got a bunch of misguided, disappointing... It's like a Venn diagram between, like, incels and roid heads that all use this bizarre, like, vocabulary as if we're wolves, which is already stupid, but also it's not true for wolves either, so it's double stupid.
Ludmilla needs you to get her out. Rodko will give you the rundown.
What's happening, Dad? Is Mom okay?
Don't worry, Edie. Your mother knows what she's doing. I'm sure she's fine.
A helicopter just touched down on the site's landing pad. Apparently it's some Endron exec. Their presence is shaking things up.
Tell me Ludmilla's okay.
She's okay. They've still got no idea she's on site. But their guard patrols have changed, and certain areas are locked down. And that includes the one Ludmilla's in.
So what's the plan now?
The mission's sunk. We go in there, get her out, and wait for things to quiet down. But to get her off site, the locked-off areas need to be manually unlocked. And Ludmilla's stuck on the wrong side.
Shit.
Fortunately, she has already secured a terminal. She'll guide you to her location over the radio. Go now. Bring her back. There's no time to waste. My sister needs you.
Seems like she'd be better at infiltrating.
I'm on my way.
Like they'd be better at having infiltrators if they were wolves.
I'll open any door I have access to through their network. I've opened all the external ducts.
I keep finding out new stuff that corrects even further what I thought was happening. So on top of not being a werewolf, she's also not in disguise. I thought having human infiltrators, the idea was that they move amongst the group and blend in, which I guess anyone really could do, potentially, if they do a good enough job. But apparently she's just hiding. Oh, there's a climbing spot. Sup? The Lupus. Press B to shift to Cahal into Lupus form. The size and speed of the Lupus allow him to sneak into many places without being noticed, but Lupus can't use technology, and if seen, will cause humans to react. So would the guy with the vest, right? That's pretty quick. Whoa! That's a full, like, fox jump, where they're about to dive face first into, like, a snow den and catch a hare. Like, does it do a different animation entirely if I'm running? Not kind of. It looks like it makes more sense if you're running already. Yeah, if you're running, it's like a forward leap that makes a bit more sense. The leap in place is pretty funny, because it's so high. I've never seen like a dog or a wolf jump like that before, but you see foxes do it. Like snow foxes will dive way up in the air, then land head first into the snow to like just penetrate into like this den that the prey animals in.
Center of the site. You'll have to get here without being seen. The area you're passing through should be deserted right now, though.
Oh my god, being a wolf makes vents so convenient because you're not playing a crouching character, you're just playing a wolf. So this just replaces crouching essentially. At least some of the time.
Ava?
There's gotta be a terminal close by. Find it. Oh, and deactivate any cameras you see while you're at it.
Penumbra vision. The left bumper toggles penumbra vision, allowing Cahal to peer into the spirit world, letting him sense things. Okay, so it's Batman's detective vision. Ooh, the spirit world tells me here's how I hack the mainframe. Alright, click, click. Probably smart in both cases. I want door open, camera off. I probably don't have to question that one too much. They're making me move slowly, though.
Guards. Ludmilla, we've got a lot of company.
The arrival of the Endron exec has changed their setup. Tell me where you are.
They're making me move so slow as the wolf now. I guess this is like an automatic sneak, or it's just like story mode.
I'm looking at the southern part of the outer fence. And a shit ton of guards. There's no way I'll be able to make a move without being seen.
Southern part of the outer fence. Got it. There. That should distract them for a few minutes. But if a guard does see you...
He won't live long enough to raise the alarm. They sold their souls to Endron. They don't get any mercy.
Hell of a time for a malfunction.
Wow.
I'll go check it out.
That's pretty fucked up, actually. What, you work for an energy company? Your life's literally worthless. Like, I get, from their perspective, they're literally defending their home, so things are a bit heightened, I get. But holy fuck. That is a hell of a disregard for life that we're just gonna have to accept from the get-go in this game, aren't we? I'm guessing he doesn't do non-lethal takedowns. Oh, did he sit? Hey, if you stop moving, they sit. I didn't expect that. I don't know why they'd sit, actually. You think they would just stop moving. Takedowns. Takedown is one way of dealing with unalerted guards and civilians. Takedowns will increase Cahal's rage. The more rage, the more dangerous the Crinos will be in combat. Is the Crinos the werewolf form? Got a whole terminology to figure out. Ooh. Pretty sure I just snapped his neck. That wasn't like a choke. But how fast do you get detected in wolf form? The fact that the smart thing was definitely to not kill that guy. The smart thing was just to ghost past him because there was no need to kill him. So now they're all gonna have to die. Obviously. Are they all conveniently placed that they will absolutely not see each other getting killed? It's a good thing this guy's deaf. But yeah, taking down a single guy is, of course, immediately bad news because you have a body lying around. This is probably a really isolated video game level where I don't have to worry about that as much. But, just thinking in general, if you're doing an infiltration, you don't want to leave, like, weird bodies lying around. Can I move bodies? You can't move bodies. So I guess the question is how much do you have to worry about them patrolling around? The crossbow. Wow. So bolts are limited and need to be refilled. Pretty seamless. You press the crossbow button. If you press the button, any button that requires being a human, you just are human immediately. You don't even have to shift first. Oh. Why? There's a bunch of crossbow bolts there. Oh, I only have 3. That's the most I can carry. Not question too much the, oh, yeah, right trigger is run. Oh, it's a little dash. I think it was a continuous run earlier, but now it's like a little dash. Because we're in stealth mode, I guess. That means if you're going from like cover to cover, I'd be like do voom. Which is actually kind of nice for stealth reasons.
I'm in the refinery.
Perfect. I'm not far now. Nearly at the passageway leading into it.
If I remember correctly, this developer made Of Orcs and Men, which I kept meaning to try, and then there was a spin-off, Styx, which was the goblin from that game, as a whole stealth thing. So I guess it makes sense they're making a stealth game here.
Shit. Something's following me.
What is it?
I think it's a black spiral dancer.
What?
Ludmilla, just hold on. Fuck. Rodko.
I heard. No more sticking around. We fight. Now go. I'll meet you with Rafik.
I'm done fucking around.
I guess I should have expected the tutorial to just say fuck off with the whole idea of stealth midway through. Quick, strong, and then jump attacks. Not just jump, but jump attacks. Combine quick attack, strong, and jump attacks to perform combos and raise Crinos' rage. A rage multiplier is applied as long as Crinos is not interrupted. Oh, they're dead. Oh my god. Dynasty Warriors mode. Like, not even one guy at a time combat, just destruction. How do I... Oh, left bumper to grab, not left trigger. So B is dodge. Dodge is followed by a strong attack, leads to new attacks. Ooh. Is there a lock on? There is. Ooh. And grab. Oh! That's not good for you. Oh, they're doing things. Oh! Oh god. Okay, lock on doesn't work out great if it locks onto somebody from across the room. I think he just fucking bites his head off. Let's take a look at that. Oh. That's a... That's a classic 2010s move of, hey, that's the final enemy, so here's a cutscene kill, so you know it's the final enemy. Left trigger plus A is a partial heal, and it costs rage, which I haven't been using, so... I also have left trigger plus X, it looks like. I'll try that in a bit. His arms are on fire, apparently? Or if they're full of druid rage? I guess this is a rage meter. The leap is left trigger plus X. That's alright, that's the one I just saw. Leap on a guard to kill him promptly. Promptly! Oh shit! I just went through the wall. Press right trigger to switch between heavy and agile stances. Oh, I thought that was a dash. Oh, I was entering fast mode. Okay, so this is rage mode where I'm just a big hulking monster and I don't move very fast, but I just destroy people. A rip and tear, apparently. Oh, there's fast mode. You just run around with them. Special move healing. They're telling me about that again. So it's kind of hard to fight him in slow mode or fast mode. Whereas in slow mode, you just delete him. I was not expecting the destruction level we had. Considering we were going in stealth mode in the first place, what does his face look like? Oh, camera doesn't like to get that close. It's gonna be a little bit. This is gonna be a little bit of a struggle. Is he like twitching? He is twitching. Then the crouch mode, where he's all fast. Considering we had the pretense of stealth at the beginning, I wasn't expecting him to become hilariously lethal. Kind of makes me really wonder what the intended playstyle is, because these are so divergent, and it seems like you could quickly just give up on stealth in a lot of these playthroughs. Silver. Silver damage will lower your maximum health. That's a pretty good standard way of expressing silver in a vampire and werewolf games. Oh god, he's dead. Nope. Nope, nope. Stop that. Stop that. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Are you having a bad day? Oh, stop it. I'm just hanging out with my new friend. Anyway. Oh, through. He went through. Ow, okay, we need to get this guy. The fucking anime dashes. I wasn't ready for how absurd this got this quickly. Oh, I can't grab him. Stop that. There you go. Gotta work for it. Then you just run around with the guy for a while. Ow. Ow. Stop that. So the leap just helps you just launch at him from across the map too.
Keep going.
One way to close the gap. Oh, I'm inside the wall. Can I change forms? You can change forms while still holding onto the guy. His head's just in my hand. Like, this is just his life now. His arm's a little cocked. It's a little weird. It's really funny that you can just hold... I don't think I'm supposed to be holding on to him anymore. I don't think they prepared for the idea of holding on to the guy after you transform. His head's kind of clipping through, so it's a little bit of a weird look. Oh, look at there's different rolls. All right. There's a little backdash. If you press it twice, he rolls. This shoulder charge looks like something from a Street Fighter game or like Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, I'm probably thinking of Psylocke. Oh, they just appear out of walls. This is you can definitely feel the double A. It is kind of remarkable how much it feels like a game from like last generation. Like it feels very much like an Xbox 360. I guess it's last generation now. It feels like an Xbox 360 game that leaked out into the world. I need to heal. Made some mistakes. The camera's a bit rough. You either log onto a specific enemy or it's completely under your control. Let's see, let's walk this way. Oh yeah, the camera will not even try to point in a direction. So it's not doing me any favors in these hallways. You just have to continually tell it where to go.
I think I should be able to. There.
I guess we have to walk through this particular hallway very slowly. We couldn't possibly have continued at our previous rate. That my uncle, or is that an enemy? Oh, they've got her, don't they?
Cahal, tell 80.
No! Please, no!
They've got Corpo Wolf Runners. Target locking. Yep, this is definitely the time to use that when there's one enemy. That's what a black spiral dancer is. Okay. Nope. Ow! He tracked. That took longer for it to go off than I thought it would. Ow. I'm not really sure what the smart way is to fighting this guy. Let's see. I don't think we can block or anything. Oh, he deflected my charge. Whoa! Wait, is that what happens? Do I leap at him and does fast mode make me leap at him and big mode makes me... I think big mode made me launch a wind ball at him. Press up to trigger frenzy. Frenzy can be triggered once the fury is at its peak. In frenzy, Crinos creates advantages in each stance, speed and power. However, in frenzy, he can't use special moves nor healing. Well, I don't have any rage left to use, so that doesn't really matter to me. What does really fast look like? Oh, I can't switch to heavy mode. I'm stuck in fast mode. Oh! Oh, come on. Ooh, I think it did split his face open, though. This game looks like it needs to have gore that it doesn't have, though.
No. Ludmilla. It's me, Cahal. Listen to me. Oh, damn it! No. You need to fight the rage. Oh, that's Rafik! Stop it! No! What have I done? Rafik. There's no time to mourn. We need to go.
This voice actor does not react well enough to things dying that he cares about. It's so flat. That's a bummer. Is Rafik is dead then, huh? We talked at him once. We gave him a name just long enough to feel bad when he dies later. I've actually genuinely never seen the name Nacon before. I don't know how I've missed that. Has it begun? Are we 5 years later? Are we now like a sad outcast? Outcast from my pack because I did a bad. I lost my wife and then did a murder. And now I'm alone. I'm a lone wolf. Ha, get it? Eco-terrorist here to destroy Enron, but with a D. Enron.
No kidding.
Though I guess we've got a special guest coming tonight.
Yeah. An Endron rep, no less. She should be here soon.
You know they're hiring, right? Think you'd ever make the move to Endron?
Pretty ballsy. They're literally talking right now. That was an unnecessarily bad approach to stealth. He hasn't changed clothes in 5 years. Not once.
All clear, Dusk. We're good to go.
I guess I correctly predicted we wouldn't see those characters around much.
5 years ago, I abandoned the woods of Tarker's Mill. I abandoned my cairn. Endron killed my wife. I gave in to rage. The worm touched my soul. I had to leave my daughter. It was the hardest decision I ever made.
Not even a mention of Rafik, huh? Wow, how easy we forget.
Endron is joining the fight against global warming. The energy company today announced that their new biofuel will be hitting the market soon. This revolutionary new formula will be unveiled alongside the opening of their new headquarters in...
This exile was my only choice. I'd become a danger to my pack. I often wonder what's become of them. Of Rodko, of Ava, of 80. This is the closest I've been to Tarker's Mill in 5 years.
Cahal, we're here. You're up.
How much time do we have before they notice the guards on the outside have gone quiet?
They report in by radio every hour. That's our deadline for getting our hands on the explosives and getting out of here.
Let's go through the plan again, just to make sure everything's clear.
you've got to swap the delivery label on the crate of explosives intended for Endrin. You do that, and they'll load us up with smiles on their faces. All you've got to do is open the gate to their delivery bay for me. I'll create a diversion while you're exchanging the labels.
Got it. We'll have to play it tight, though. One hiccup and the plan falls through.
We'll have you sneak around back by their storage facility. Security should be pretty thin there, especially if you go through the ventilation ducts.
What do your clients intend to do with them anyway?
The Weather Stormers? They're planning on blowing up a big Magadon pharmaceutical plant.
Good fucking riddance. I know Magadon's methods. They're the scum of the earth.
And guess what? These explosives were originally headed to Endrin, another megacorp of assholes. Stealing from them is just icing on the cake.
All right. I'm off.
Hey, before you go, are you sure you're up for this, man? You seem kind of stressed out back in the truck.
I'm fine. Come on, we've got a job to do.
Right. If you need me, I'm just a chirp away. Good luck, brother.
It is remarkable how much, like, he's a pretty detailed character in general. And then everyone he talks to has like this dead-eyed stare and like waxy-looking skin, and they just look like it looks like two characters are talking to each other that are from two different console generations. Like it's really stands out. I harp on the lack of gore because yeah, like I'm grabbing dudes and like flinging them around, but then like doing like ripping and tearing animations and bites and stuff, and it really feels like in a Doom sort of way, like I should just be splitting people in half basically, and there should just be blood everywhere, and they should just sell the hilarious, ridiculous violence of a fucking like 15, apparently like a 15-foot tall wolf coming through. I did not know how big they were gonna be, but I guess I should remember these are the ones that the vampires are afraid of, and I did encounter them once, admittedly in like low detail, low poly jankiness. Like they were intimidating in that they would fucking obliterate me in Bloodlines, but they were kind of silly in the low res and everything. It was a little rough, and the mission was kind of janky. But just as much as I do harp on the lack of gore, that was a pretty brutal, violent kill. I was disappointed at first when he split the jaw open, and then there was like no particular like blood or like visible splitting or anything. But they did like sell it with the character model animation by having the entire top half of the head roll back so that the animation showed like, from the camera angle we had, you could tell it was bad because the you could only see the bottom jaw of his head and then none of the rest of his head, so that the entire top half had been bent all the way back so that it was completely hidden by the silhouette. And that's just like, all right, well, that's up there with that time that Godzilla like ripped open a monster's mouth and then breathed fire down it after already splitting it way too much. Then the fire came out of the neck of the monster and just like tore him apart.
That does it. This month's orders are packed in the delivery bay and ready to go. Let's do our inventory checks for next month.
It's funny, like I don't really like Saw and stuff like that. I don't like over the top gore just as like torture purposes in media, but there's something fun about just stupid violent gore that just goes so fucking far sometimes. Like there was I think it was a Benicio del Toro werewolf movie where somebody opens the back of like a wagon or a trailer or something, and immediately before they even have a chance to register that there's a werewolf in the trailer, it cuts to the guy and you just see a werewolf like hand come up like under his like chin, and I think his first two fingers of his hand pierce his neck and come out through his mouth. So you have this bizarre look of like, at first you think he just like grabbed his neck or something, but then you see the two wolf fingers coming out of his mouth like spider legs, and you're like, what the fuck is that visual? And they pause on it just long enough for you to be freaked out by that visual, and then he just gets pulled jaw first into the trailer and vanishes into the darkness, and I think is never seen again. Like that's how an unnamed rando character is taken out, and it's like, Jesus Christ. And like describing because of the inventiveness of the ridiculous. Because of the inventiveness of the ridiculous kill, it takes me like 30 seconds to explain it, but it was like 2 seconds of the movie. And I'll always have a sweet spot for that stuff. It's like the difference between like how Saw, in certain Saw movies, I'm like, okay, is this in service of a plot eventually, or am I just like supposed to think this is inherently valuable? And I'm like not really into it. But then I play like Doom and I'm like, oh my god, he has an imagination. Nope. Having a dash. How am I gonna get used to this? How am I gonna go back to stealthing in games where you don't dash around like this whenever you want to get around faster?
Reached out to me, you know. They're hiring and the pay's
Look at that.
I'm sure it is. They're going to
Not the best angle, but yeah.
right now. Lamb to mankind. If I were you, I'd stay here. Keep your head down.
I definitely get the vibe there's not much to this game. It is very much just a straightforward, probably play these pretty linear levels. You probably play pretty linear levels while having not the most involved story. It's just kind of the framework to just kind of fuel it, and then you just like you stealth around as the wolf, and then you do some murders as the werewolf. The wolf doesn't seem to get to do any kills. Probably because it wouldn't be that quiet. But the you do just kind of stealth around as this guy. Alright, so this is mandatory. I don't really like using the gun. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Did he radioed in time? I'm playing controller because that feels good for everything else, but then aiming a crossbow doesn't feel great. He said security breach on his radio. Why isn't anybody coming? A bit of a dissonance there. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. So I think they were being a little misleading. They were saying that if you increase your rage, then you'll do more damage as the Crinos. But I think they just mean you're filling up the rage meter, so you just have a full rage meter when you're the Crinos. Which technically does result in doing more damage, I guess, but it sounded more like you were charging up the form to make it stronger in a more, like, overall way. You're just filling it up in a way that, in a way comparable to how it would fill up if you were just hitting things once you're in that form anyway.
You hear the new Endron announcement about their new biofuel? They say they're going green by the end of the year.
The only thing green about that fuel's the label.
Because killing a lot of these guys is kind of a waste. Unless you just really want to take longer. But part of the fun is how fast you can move.
They're not running the most attractive operation here.
I mean, they're pumping out weapons for Endron, not selling timeshares. Looks probably aren't their priority.
This game seems, you know, vaguely acceptable. Not the type of game I'd do a full playthrough run because I'd quickly run out of things to talk about, because I don't think mechanically it's going to really go anywhere.
Good. See that command post next to the gate? You should be able to open things up for me from there.
I get the feeling that you play the tutorial and you're like getting a good vibe of like, yeah, the rest of the game is kind of that. If you liked that, enjoy game. And there's a place for that stuff. Stuff that I won't mention at the end of the year as like, oh man, here's the big interesting game that did that stuff, and oh man, do you think about how Pyre mixes its mechanics with its storytelling? It's like nah, it's the game where you do the werewolf, stealth around as the silly wolf, and then you murder everything as the werewolf. It is one, if anything, I guess the unique part of the game is having the most drastic tone change of a stealth game that I've played in a while. It's really common to have the loud part and the quiet part of a stealth game. That's like the standard dynamic. Is there's pure stealth games where you just have to keep stealthing the whole game and just do a good job. And oftentimes I try to do pure stealth in stealth games instead of ever going loud, just because going loud kind of feels like a failure state. Although in games like Dishonored, going loud is so fun that you kind of want to do that part too. But it often feels like you're like, oh, now to play the less fun version of the game because I fucked up the stealth in a lot of stealth games. But in this one, it suddenly switches from like sticks from the shadows or whatever to like the Hulk game or Prototype, like those sorts of like mid-2000s Xbox 360 games with over-the-top action. So having that transform is pretty funny. Going from like the slow, methodical stealth game to like I had a game in mind for the end of that sentence, and then I forgot mid-sentence.
Once I've got their attention, you go find what we came for and slap on this fancy new delivery label. Got it?
Toggle penumbra vision. Do I have to? I don't like the controls of that. They did say toggle, so I should have known, but it feels right to hold it and then let go. But you just tap it and hold it. If you hold it, it turns off immediately. I think that's the only way out. So. You'll never see me. I did little dashies, which would you think would make me more suspicious. The faster you move, the more you catch the eye. Game over! Okay, that's pretty jank. Well. That was an instant failure. That guy noticed me fast. Like, I guess I was just too close.
Dusk, you're up.
Do they know about werewolves?
You go find what we came for and slap on this fancy new delivery label. Got it?
One of my first thoughts is like, oh, this game's a stealth game because it's a masquerade game, right? Like, we can't let people know that werewolves exist or we're gonna get hunted down and stuff like that. But then I went fucking aggro and murdered everyone in that building. Are we just kind of like assuming that nobody... Maybe we're just assuming that nobody has cameras. Like, there's no cameras in the entire facility. I totally got away with that. And so since I didn't leave any survivors, that means my stealth is clear.
Should be stored around here.
Why did you make me turn into a human so I could think? I think the wolf can think just fine. I think you can do narration of me talking to myself when I'm still a wolf. I think you can. I think other times it makes sense he turns into a human because they're making me talk to him on the comms. Does your mouth move?
Wait, I smell something.
It does.
Give me a minute to check it out.
Threats and penumbra vision. Penumbra vision can be used to detect specific threats such as silver. Oh yeah, they're armed with silver, so they totally know who yeah. Maybe you are more justified in murdering these particular people if they're like armed with anti-werewolf equipment. Like they know they're specifically they don't really plead ignorance to the fact that they're destroying our habitats at that point. Oh yeah, that's a lot of silver they're just armed with for some reason.
I knew I smelled it. Silver. Whoever ordered this intends to kill Garou. Dusk. They're shipping out silver bullets. You know what that means.
Change of plans?
Change of plans. I need to find out who's buying these bullets and why. Buy me some more time.
Okay, that's really funny. That's probably real. I don't know much about military and guns, generally speaking, but it's just really funny that the ammunition's in what looks like a sardine can. I think we can just all agree that's funny, even if it's real. Get a little dash for impatient people like me. I don't like how you have to press Y though to go into vents. I'm walking into it. What do you think I want to do? Oh, there's so many of you. I dash before I look. That's satisfying. There's a lot of like dash-shaped openings that you just quickly skip through. Can I dash in hallways? No. Or vents?
Who even uses that shit? Is she picking up some golden guns while she's at
it? Ooh. Oh, he does a little scamper. It's hard to look at because the camera's... He's at the bottom of the camera most of the time, so it's hard to see. But yeah, he does a little climb. I thought I was just gonna have to jump clean over it because it's a jump button.
Shouldn't be much longer.
This video is entirely indulgent because I just want to play as a wolf in a game.
Supposed to have delivered ammunition 1 week ago. 1 week. Endrin doesn't like waiting.
Well, paying, clearly. You're not getting anything until Endrin is paid up. You can tell that to your President Watkins.
What year was this game made?
I don't think you understand what's at stake here.
I understand that you've just been attacked and you're looking to hit back. I also understand that you need our ammunition to do that. And we've got that ammunition right downstairs, ready and waiting to go as soon as you've paid us. Sorry, Major. The business is business.
Well, fuck you two. Then we'll attack Tarker's Mill without your help. And rest assured, Mr. Watkins will hear about this.
Tarker's Mill. Hey!
Wow, what a facial expression.
Who are you?
I'm sorry. I'm being mean. I know I know this is not a AAA game, but like Alpha Protocol looked so much better a decade ago. Those two look like horrifying zombies. I guess it's one way to make me not empathize with the humans I'm gonna murder is make them look like horrifying dolls. I just walked up to him bold-faced, and he didn't even make a facial expression to express confusion. He just stood there dead-eyed. I have a rage button apparently during conversations. That's good. That might be funny.
How'd you get in?
I'm asking the questions. Who are you talking to? The woman. And what's this attack on Tarker's Mill?
I'm calling security.
Looks like we're finally getting some action.
Bollocks! Security! Alert!
I heard you were calling security, so I hit the enrage button. I was kind of hoping he'd grab him in the moment and like interrogate him. Just pick him up and then the conversation continues. It's like, okay, we're talking this way now. Does your answer change? But instead we just started fighting. I'm a little disappointed. It was a hotkey in it, so I was expecting like a Paragon Renegade interruption sort of thing. I definitely wanted to see something in like a werewolf cutscene. Let's go a little faster. Whoop! Swoop! Stop! Stop that! Oh! Oh! Oh, it's left trigger, right? Whee! Yeah, he just got impaled, and that camera angle doesn't sell it well, and the gore doesn't sell it well. If you're gonna impale somebody with your hand, pro tip, you want a side shot.
I have to go back.
From the back view from behind me, it's hard to tell what I'm looking at. But if you show us a profile shot, is it whatever words are? If you rotate the camera 90 degrees, then you can see the whole angle of me lifting the person up, and then the hand going like the claw like going through his gut and probably coming out through his back. Like, you gotta sell that. That camera angle's all wrong. We have a skill tree apparently, and like many skill trees, it's a bunch of diamonds for some reason, because that's what skill trees look like right now. Oh yeah, it's one of those skill trees too, where it's a bunch of mini skill trees. They're all separate from each other. I did not know when I played Dragon Age Inquisition that that was going to be what skill trees just started looking like all the time, but here we are. On activation, Frenzy triggers automatic free healing. It's Frenzy? Yeah, you have to learn Frenzy first. Crinos can now rush forward, slashing everything in its way in heavy mode. So you have an agile mode and a heavy mode. You can roar and knock people down. If you heal, then beat on people, you get more healing. That's pretty effective. Let's see, the stealth forms. Lupus easily perceives distant spirits with number vision. The Lupus is harder to see and detect as long as he doesn't run. I mean, that's a... Alright, so here's the level of stealth we have, huh? Raids gains... Oh, yeah. Takedowns increase rage. Okay. You can use bolts to kill cameras. Okay, so yeah, this is the level of stealth we're dealing with. There's a massive skill tree for combat. Like, these are all, like, 2. There's 10 total. These trees are huge by comparison. They're not huge as skill trees necessarily. Like, each of these little trees is, like, 5 or 6 things. But, compared to these two, the ones, they're massive. And then you realize... Like, here's rage slots, so that's just a combat upgrade. That's not a tactical upgrade. Then there's the 2 upgrades for the wolf, and here's 2 for aiming. Here's, you get more rage from crossbow kills and takedowns, so another combat upgrade, basically. And then this is like, you can take out and it bolts. So, in the werewolf game where you stealth as a wolf, there are 2 total upgrades for the wolf. That's all of them. A better Batman vision, and then better stealth. Just a blanket. Just a straight up blanket single skill purchase that makes you better at stealth for the rest of the game. That's the only stealth upgrade that's actually about the stealth. But, you know, crossbows are useful for stealth, so that's comparable too. But yeah, there's 4 upgrades for your crossbow in the game where you turn into a wolf. That's weird. That's a little weird. But yeah, I feel like they're, it's definitely about doing the relatively straightforward, probably one-note stealth, and then bursting into wolf mode and just pushing all these buttons and going at it. Unlock the roar, I guess? Oh, whole day to learn. There we go. Okay, now I can run. Let's slide. Oh, you can turn in midair, kind of, and it's like, it looks, you can make him like contort a bit. Like the, you rapidly change directions while landing and he does the whole thing. But I've been seeking werewolf games since I was like 10.
Dusk.
What the fuck are you doing, Cahal? I just had to pop a couple guards who wanted to put a bullet in my head. Get the fuck back here already.
Sorry, but I didn't have a choice. Keep the engine running. We're out of here as soon as I get back.
It's because Peter Molyneux hurt me. I think it was in a Game Informer article or whatever, like in the same article. Ooh. It grows his rage when he sips from the flask. It's an alcoholism problem. That's a little dark. But like, I think Peter Molyneux pissed me off as a child because I was reading Game Informer and there was this big article about the upcoming game Fable that was coming out. And it's like, wow, it's so realistic. Like, if you go camping and you get too, if you're camping out in the wilderness and you get too cold, then like you can get sick. And like, there's things called balverines that were just werewolves, but their world's one. And if you get attacked by the balverines, you can catch the balverine curse and become a balverine, which is basically werewolves. So I went and like let myself get killed by them over and over again because like I want to play as a balverine. That seems neat. And you couldn't. It wasn't a feature in the game. He lied. That's like old hat now. Like everyone knows that he lied about all of his games constantly. Or you know, he was. If you want to be very nice, you could say he was overly optimistic about what could be accomplished in the development cycle of a video game, and kept over-promising things that weren't in the game, and making all of his developers that worked for him panic. Like, what is he saying? That's not ready.
Office, but I'm not getting any response from that sector.
He hasn't even told us we want that yet. Reinforcements will be critically wounded if their entry has been sabotaged. Ooh.
Take your positions, people. Maximum alert until the situation's clear.
For this silly location. I've just always thought werewolves were neat. And so, and I liked wolves, that I did like the research paper on them and stuff like that. And having them be rare, and then the choices of game that they're in often being disappointing, it's a rough time. Where vampires get their big legendary RPG. Where's the legendary werewolf RPG, huh?
I'll flush him out.
I'm just sitting here. He's gonna be in for a hell of a time. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Nope. I just headbutt him.
One less fucker.
Look at him just sitting here. They'll never find me. If I can't see you, you can't see me. Take them all out, I guess. Nope, I'll get spotted there. So that's why, like, I'll play a Worgen in WoW, and then when I play the vampire game, I'll play as the beast dudes. Because why not? I'm very predictable. My favorite Harry Potter character is Lupin. I like the movie The Thing, because there's the horrifying dog transformation at the beginning, and also the rest of it's pretty good, but that's a definite highlight. I actually just got an art print from Jen. Forget the rest of their name right now. That's of that transformation. My favorite Legend of Zelda is Twilight Princess.
Shit, what's going on?
I still need. Oh god. Oh, that's not good for you. You shouldn't have done that. You still had a chance until then. It does feel like an absurd Dynasty Warriors game the moment you enter combat. I don't think they're going to be able to get through that door. Sorry. Oh, hey, everyone. Everyone keep amassing on this one platform that's a choke point. That'll work out for you. Yes, just keep climbing. Are these clones with no survival instinct? Like, they're like, I just watched 75 people get massacred instantly on this one box. I'll slowly clamber up there too. Get me some of that. Can't wait. Hey you. Hey you. Can I should be able to throw them at people. Instead I just kind of punch them. Listen, it was the stealth approach until it wasn't. Wait, that's a really confusing Oh! His shoe's coming out of his butt. Yeah, I noticed that before when I was holding that guy too, where it's like, I think the ragdolls the ragdolls in this game are willing to phase through themselves, which is a weird. Oh, I'm in slow walkie mode. Like that. That was a little stealth opportunity that would have been helpful in some context. Instead, I think I left some evidence. Do you think when he fucks up at stealth, it's like when you come home and your dog, like, got a hold of the toilet paper or something more valuable maybe, and just like scattered it everywhere and made a huge mess, and so every time you look at them, he looks away from you, like he'll just like, what? Oh, I haven't noticed anything. Who could have done that? It wasn't me. Just imagining, like, he's just sitting here and he's not looking at the mess. There's just massive piles of blood behind him and like 75 corpses, and he just like won't make eye contact with you, but he also won't acknowledge that that's there. Like if he pretends it's not there, it'll just go away. All right, I think that's enough for now. This is probably gonna get old for me after a bit. But this has been Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, which I got a free code for to fuck around with, and so I did. If you want to check out the link in the description, you can go buy it at the Epic Game Store, and if you use my creator tag, then a percentage of your purchase supports the channel, because that's a thing that Epic does, which is nice. As far as Let's Tries go, they've been absent for a few months. Aside from a couple multiplayer instances that were just, I'm arbitrarily calling a multiplayer thing a Let's Try. The original plan with the new 5-day-a-week schedule with my 2-day weekend of multiplayer videos was that, hey, Jans, the plan was that he was going to, he yawns a lot apparently. I broke my train of thought. I figured that instead of having Let's Tries be a slot like they were, that they would instead, I'd do a thing where if I finished a game, I would do a few days of Let's Tries before I start the new game. But in reality, I've found that I just want to immediately start the new game, like every time. Like whenever I finish a game, I'm really impatient to start the next thing, and I think the audience is like impatient to see what comes next and so on. So the idea of like putting a slot on a hiatus for a few days to do Let's Tries every time I finish a game, I think in reality I won't. I just won't do that. So we're gonna need a new plan. I'm bouncing. There's two different ideas. One, I might just upload Let's Tries whenever I feel like it, or I might just whenever I have enough of a backlog of videos, I might be like, you know what, let's just do Let's Tries today. It's like a day off, and then upload those whenever they fit the schedule or something. I've tooled around the idea of like maybe uploading a Let's Try every Friday, which might be a thing I hold myself to, but there might be more than that coming up soon, because Steam is doing a big demo thing for a bunch of games, so I'm going to spend the rest of today recording a bunch of those, and maybe even tomorrow. So there might be a lot more Let's Tries coming soon, because if I put those out once a week on Fridays, then that would take months. But then we might settle into some kind of groove where I eventually just like put up a Let's Try every Friday at least, instead of them vanishing forever, but also not giving them a whole like time slot or anything. It's just a little thing on top of my schedule every now and then. I just get around to trying out a new game, because there's definitely not been a lack of games to try. There's definitely always games that fill that particular space of like, I don't think I'll necessarily do a series on that, or I don't think I'll ever really have time for that, but I do want to like give it a video here and there. My email inbox, which I've not been grooming for the last few months because I haven't been doing Let's Tries, but I did get down to 0 right when I was, for the final shipment of like, hey, Let's Try people on Patreon, do your last request. Like I got it all the way down to 0 to give them maximum options that one time. I have not really been paying attention to it enough for the last few months, and it's at like 700 emails. So I need to look at those. Oh God.